Rick breaks the fourth wall a lot, like he knows he has an audience, but a show would have to worry about ratings and getting canceled, right? So if your entire life is a series, getting canceled would mean certain death, as the entire world around you would suddenly shut down when production ceased. Plus, Rick jumps dimensions several times. As far as we're aware, he's jumped once for the Cronenberg issue, once because Morty angered the squirrels, and probably other times I've forgotten about. So you're telling me that all of those dimensions had a Rick starring in his own television series? And all of the camera crew, or whoever is filming Rick's life, had no red tape about dimension hopping? No way. Granted, Rick's outrageous actions and general lack of concern for himself or anyone else does suggest that he knows something is fake about his life, but being so aware of this fact when no one else in his world is, leaves us with one logical answer. Rick is actually playing a game of Rick. No, seriously. Remember when Morty played the video game Roy and he lived an entire lifetime and didn't remember who he was by the end of it? Well, I think Rick is playing a similar game. It just revolves around being a mad scientist who can do whatever he pleases. So what we're seeing in Rick and Morty is not really a multiverse of infinite Ricks and Mortys. We're seeing a video game tournament of different users playing the game of Rick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Roy have a big user screen so people could watch you play? I know there's a lot of theories already out there that says Rick is aware that he's in a TV show, and while there are some good, strong arguments in favor of that idea, a television show implies that Rick is a real person on a reality or semi-scripted series like Parks and Rec, but that would mean there's limitations, especially if Morty, Summer, and the other characters don't know they're being filmed. Plus, how would they not notice they're being filmed or hear the things that Rick say if they're real independent people? To the contrary, if Rick is a game like Roy, it's a digital world where the possibilities would be endless. And that way, Rick as the main character can break the fourth wall and do whatever he wants, but the other characters are all sophisticated, non-playable characters, so similar to the robots in Westworld, they don't absorb any information that might harm their core programming. Now I know what you're gonna say. Rick uses the word seasons multiple times to cover like, oh, that's the end of season 1, but that's not a term exclusive to television series anymore. There are quite a few examples in the gaming world where games are released in seasons, like The Walking Dead, and many other games sell what they call season passes. So even though the word season implies a show, that doesn't have to be the case. And this simulator game idea makes a lot of sense if we look more closely at season 3's The Ricklantis Mix-Up, where we have almost an entire episode where C-137's Rick and Morty aren't present at all. Now, it would be super bizarre for this to happen in a scenario where Rick knew he was a TV series, because we would essentially just be following the life and times of this particular Rick Sanchez. So to branch off and let the plot develop elsewhere implies that it's an MMO where the player has done something, like hacked a Morty NPC, or maybe Morty is a companion game, or a player 2 option, or a character option when you start, but we're watching the most interesting Morty player take over the tournament spotlight from the most interesting Rick player. If I'm not making sense, there was an old PlayStation game I loved called Bust a Groove, and the premise was that you were on a show, and if you danced a lot better than your opponent, then the camera would start to cut the other dancer out and focus just on your avatar. Similarly, if you had a big game of Rick tournament where people are primarily watching through one feed, then logically the most entertaining or intriguing feed is going to be the primary broadcast being shown to the most people. If I had to guess, I would say that Rick, C-137, and Evil Morty are competing for first place right now. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have 2 other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, "Hey, I made it to the end." And then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.